Fact 1. We only use 10% of our brains. You've heard it in movies, from motivational speakers, maybe even a teacher. But it's completely wrong. Brain scans show we use nearly every region of the brain, even when we're resting or daydreaming. Thinking, walking, tasting, solving problems, feeling emotions. Every part of your brain lights up for different tasks. So where did this myth come from? Some say it was a misquote of early neuroscience. Others blame 20th century self-help gurus. Either way, it stuck because it sounds inspiring. But here's the truth. You're already using 100% of your brain, just not all at once. Which makes sense. You don't use your entire house at the same time either. So no, unlocking the other 90% won't turn you into a superhero. The real superpower? Using what you've got on purpose. Fact 2. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. Wrong again. Is it annoying? Definitely. But is it harmful? Not really. The pop you hear isn't your bones grinding or your joints breaking down. It's actually just gas bubbles in the synovial fluid, which is the natural lubricant inside your joints collapsing or shifting as you stretch them. And guess what? No scientific study has found a link between knuckle cracking and arthritis. One doctor even cracked the knuckles on just one hand for 60 years to test it himself. The result? No difference, no arthritis, just one really committed scientist. At worst, frequent cracking might slightly loosen the joint over time or annoy the people around you. But arthritis? That's caused by inflammation, aging, genetics, and joint damage, not a harmless habit. So if it helps you focus or feels satisfying, go ahead and pop away. Just maybe not during a job interview or a funeral. Fact 3. Sugar makes kids hyperactive. Every parent swears it's true. Birthday cake equals chaos. Soda equals little tornadoes. But science says not so fast. Dozens of studies have looked for a real link between sugar and hyperactivity and found no consistent evidence. So why do kids go wild after sweets? It's usually the context, not the sugar. Think about it. When are kids eating cake? At parties, surrounded by noise, other kids, music, and excitement. That environment alone can crank up their energy, sugar or not. Also, there's the placebo effect. Parents expect sugar to make kids hyper, so they notice every bounce, spin, and scream more than usual. Bottom line, sugar isn't a magic switch that flips kids into maniacs. They're just kids, being kids. Still doesn't mean they should live off candy, but hyperactivity isn't the reason why. Fact 4. You need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. That number is completely made up. There's no scientific rule that says everyone needs exactly 8 glasses daily. Hydration depends on you, your body size, your activity level, the weather, and even what you eat. If you're eating fruits, vegetables, or soups, you're already getting water from your food. If you're sweating a lot, then yes, you'll probably need more. Your body is smart. It tells you when it needs water. It's called thirst. So don't force yourself to drink water all day just to hit a random number. Drink when you're thirsty. Pay attention to how you feel. The best hydration advice: don't follow a myth. Follow your body. Fact 5. Humans have only 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. That's what we're taught in school. But science says you're way more complex than that. Humans actually have at least 9 senses, and possibly more, depending on how you count them. We have senses for balance. That's your inner ear. We also have senses for temperature, pain, and body awareness, known as proprioception, which helps you know where your limbs are without looking. We also sense hunger, thirst, and even time in a rough internal way. So yeah, you're not working with just 5 tools. Your brain is processing an entire multi-sensory reality all day, every day. So the 5 senses idea? It's just old school. You've been operating with an upgraded system this whole time. Fact 6. You should pee on a jellyfish sting. No, just no. TV shows and movies made this myth famous, but real science says, bad idea. Peeing on a jellyfish sting can actually trigger more venom release, especially if the urine isn't the right temperature or pH. Instead of helping, you could make the pain worse. So what should you do? Rinse the sting with vinegar or salt water, not fresh water, and definitely not your own personal remedy. Then, carefully remove any tentacles with tweezers, not bare hands, and seek medical help if the reaction is serious. The pee trick sounds wild, because it is. Don't believe everything you see on screen. Believe the science. Fact 7. You catch a cold from being out in the cold. Sorry, Grandma. The chill in the air isn't what makes you sick. Colds are caused by viruses, not the weather. You could be wrapped in 10 blankets sipping hot tea and still catch a cold if someone nearby coughs on you. So where did the myth come from? Well, colds do spike in winter, but not because it's cold. It's because people spend more time indoors, in close contact, with less ventilation. That's the perfect environment for viruses to spread. And here's the twist. Some studies show that cold, dry air might slightly weaken your immune response in the nose, but it's still the virus that makes you sick, not the temperature alone. So no, forgetting your jacket won't doom you, but touching a doorknob after someone sneezed on it just might. Fact 8. Juice cleanses detox your body. Sounds healthy, looks healthy, but the truth? It's just expensive juice. Your body already has a detox system, and it's working 24/7. It's called your liver and kidneys. They filter your blood, break down toxins, and flush out waste without needing a sip of celery or charcoal. No juice, powder, or tea can speed that process up. There's no scientific evidence that a juice cleanse removes toxins faster because it doesn't even know which ones to target. In fact, many juice cleanses lack protein, fiber, and essential nutrients and can leave you feeling weak, dizzy, or worse. So what's the real detox? Water, sleep, whole foods, and a functioning liver. That's it. Your body already knows what to do. You just have to let it. Fact 9. You must poop once a day or you're unhealthy. Nope, your body's not on a timer, and it's not broken if you skip a day. There's no official rule that says once a day is the magic number. In fact, doctors say normal can range from 3 times a day to 3 times a week. What matters is your routine. If your digestion feels normal, you're not in pain, and your body is consistent, you're probably just fine. Stress, diet, hydration, sleep, and activity all affect how often you go. And yes, travel and anxiety can throw the schedule off, and that's normal too. So don't panic if you miss a day. It's about your regular, not the regular. Trust your gut, literally. Fact 10. You need 8 hours of sleep. No more, no less. That's a guideline, not a law carved into stone. The truth is, sleep needs vary from person to person. Some people feel sharp and energized after 6 hours, while others need 9 to function at their best. And it's not just about the number, it's about the quality of that sleep. You could spend 8 hours in bed and still wake up groggy if your sleep is light, interrupted, or poorly timed. Things like deep sleep, REM cycles, and circadian rhythm alignment all play a bigger role than hitting some perfect number. So what's the real rule? Track how you feel, not just the clock. If you wake up alert, stay focused during the day, and don't crash in the afternoon, you're probably doing just fine. Listen to your body, not a one-size-fits-all myth. Fact 11. Eggs raise your cholesterol and are bad for your heart. That was the old belief, but science has moved on, and so should we. For years, eggs got a bad rap because they're high in dietary cholesterol, especially the yolk. So people started tossing the yolks and fearing omelets like they were junk food. But modern research shows something different. For most people, the cholesterol in food has very little effect on blood cholesterol levels. Your body actually adjusts how much cholesterol it makes based on how much you eat. And eggs? They're loaded with high-quality protein, choline for brain health, vitamin D, and essential nutrients, all in one compact, affordable package. Unless you have a specific condition like familial hypercholesterolemia, moderate egg consumption is totally safe and even beneficial. So yes, you can eat the yolk. The real danger is outdated science, not breakfast. Fact 12. You need to feel sore after a workout or it didn't work. Nope, that's not how progress works. Soreness? That ache you feel the next day just means your muscles were challenged in a new or different way. It's called delayed onset muscle soreness. And while it's common, it's not a requirement for gains. You can absolutely get stronger, fitter, and faster without feeling like you got hit by a truck. In fact, constantly chasing soreness can lead to overtraining, injury, and burnout, not better results. Real progress comes from consistency, proper recovery, and smart programming, not pain. So if you leave the gym feeling good but not broken, that's not failure, that's smart training. Pain doesn't equal progress. Progress equals progress. Fact 13. Microwaving food destroys nutrients. That myth has been reheated too many times. Microwaving doesn't ruin your food's nutrition. In fact, it can be one of the best cooking methods for keeping nutrients intact. Why? Because microwaves use shorter cooking times and less water than methods like boiling, which means fewer vitamins get lost in the process. Water-soluble nutrients like vitamin C or B vitamins are more likely to leach out in boiling water, not disappear in the microwave. So as long as you're not overcooking your food until it's mushy, the nutrients are still there. Microwaves aren't the enemy, they're just another heat source, and actually a smart one. So yes, you can stop side-eyeing your leftovers. They're still doing your body good. Fact 14. You should always stretch before a workout. Not exactly. Most people still think stretching before exercise prevents injuries. But here's what science says. Static stretching, like touching your toes and holding, can actually reduce performance if done before intense activity. It temporarily relaxes the muscles and decreases strength and power. What your body needs first is a dynamic warm-up. Things like arm circles, jumping jacks, or light jogging. Movements that get your blood flowing and activate your muscles. Stretching isn't bad. It's just about when you do it. Before your workout, warm up. After your workout, stretch it out. Fact 15. If you're losing weight, it means you're getting healthier. Not always. Weight loss gets treated like the gold standard for health, but the number on the scale doesn't tell the whole story. You can lose weight from muscle, dehydration, or even illness, none of which make you healthier. And some people who gain weight from building muscle, improving nutrition, or treating hormonal issues are actually getting stronger and healthier. Real health is about body composition, energy, strength, sleep, mental health, and blood markers, not just shrinking your waist. So don't let a lower number fool you. Health isn't about being smaller, it's about being stronger and functioning better. More videos like this one are coming up soon. Subscribe and stay tuned.